Inner circle, make sure that your people behind you. Yeah, you want to be behind. You might want to be on that side, so. Yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
Excuse me.
It's a good morning, Rod.
Ready.
It's a good morning. Sun's up early. Good morning.
All right, hey class. All right, guys, on your desk, you want to make sure that you have your document, the poem, all right, The White Man's Burden, and your questions. There's no bell work today unless you put your document in the bell work journal, but there's no bell work, all right? So we're going to go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to do before we start our discussion is I want to do a continuum activity. So around the room, if you guys can look to your left and your right, there are signs posted that say strongly agree, agree, disagree, and strongly disagree, okay? All right, now, so what I need you guys to do is I'm going to post, so you're going to find on the board, I'm going to have some questions, and you will decide, all right, whether or not you agree with the statement. And so the difference between this and just the agree and disagree is that it gives you kind of, you have a continuum, all right? So you can really agree with something or kind of agree with it but not so strongly, or you could be totally in disagreement or very much so disagreeing with that statement, all right? And so this is just going to review what we've been talking about with Othello, some of the themes in the story, as well as with the white man's burden. So what you're going to do, as soon as I place the sheet, once the anticipation, guys, goes up, I'm going to read the first statement, all right? And then you guys will get up from your seats, and you're going to go to the area. You're going to go into the area in which you agree, all right? So where is strongly agree? Can someone point for me where strongly agree is?
There.
All right, where is agree?
Right there.
Where is disagree?
It's somewhere.
Right over there.
I can't see it.
And where is strongly disagree?
Right there.
All right, excellent. All right, so the first statement that you guys are going to go to, you're going to go there and you are going to wait for further instruction. The first statement is, racial differences are challenging in a relationship. Okay, we're talking about not a non-platonic, but a relationship, okay? Racial differences are challenging in a relationship. All right, you want to go to the place?
No, I'm reading a book in this one.
I want to say strongly.
What do you want?
Tradition can be
Yeah, so strongly agree, disagree, strongly disagree. All right, so what I want you guys to do now, hey class, what I want you guys to do now is I want you to get in your groups, the people that you're with, and I want you to talk and find 1 or 2 reasons why within that. Okay, I'll give you guys 30 seconds to do that.
If it's true, it doesn't matter like what they look like. It doesn't matter what they look like.
So you want to make sure you have your answer.
I'm at the with the person you should know.
All right, hey class.
Hey.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so let's just hear briefly from each group. All right, we'll start with the strongly agree. While they are talking, guys, no one else is talking. We're looking lovingly at them. All right, respectfully. Okay, go ahead. Who's gonna? Yeah.
Me? Alright. Because, like, you never know with, like, because, like, you want me to go? No. Because, like, some, like, yeah, you go. I can't think of the word
Okay,
right
so
now. I just
it
got
basically all depends on the family, on the person's background. Because if the person doesn't like black people, of course you're gonna have problems. If they don't have problems with anything, you won't have problems. So that's why I kind of wanted to be like right there in the middle, because it all depends.
Right. Okay, thank you. Agree.
So I said that, like, I kind of agree because, like, kind of adding on to what he said, some families might not be okay with, like, someone of a different color. Because, like, for example, in Othello, Desdemona, she's white, and, you know, Othello's black. And her dad's, like, not okay with that since they kind of already married. He can't really do much about it. He has a bunch of problems with it, but, you know, if she's happy, then I guess that's just how it is.
Right. Okay, great. Thank you. Disagree.
We said we disagree because it all depends on how you feel about the person. You know, it shouldn't be a challenge what color they are, but at the same time, we're not like completely strongly disagree because we understand that there are some like traditional things, you know, people would prefer you to sometimes marry the same race or ethnicity or anything.
Right.
But it just depends on how you feel, you know,
Right.
who you like.
Excellent. Okay. And our last group here, strongly disagree.
We just said that like what's on the inside matters.
It's what's on the inside that matters. Okay. All right. Excellent. So let's go to the next. Let's go to the next statement. So everyone experiences intense jealousy at some point in time. All right. Everyone experiences. Everyone experiences intense jealousy. All right, guys. We're actually going to take we'll do about 20 seconds for this one because I feel like everyone's on the same side here. All right, so go ahead and discuss why do you guys feel this way?
With money. Oh, dude, me too, bro. I've been there with you for like.
That's not.
Have you been jealous before? Do you feel like you've been jealous before? No? Do you know jealousy? It's like when you're unhappy that someone is doing something or has something. All right, hey class. All right, who's gonna speak in this large group? Who's gonna be the spokesperson? All right.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
All right, guys, go ahead.
Josh.
Josh.
So like it depends on the circumstances because you know some people like other people, so you know I might be jealous of like you stealing their female, or like Canyon in the instance where he's jealous of people who have money.
It's just
I would
the
agree
nature
with
of
that.
people.
Yeah.
It's human nature.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, so then our third statement now is imagination, all right, what we think up in our minds can be worse than reality. All right, so think about our text, think about what's going on. Is imagination, can it be worse than reality?
I'm gonna keep we all like without even saying it. You know what? Yeah.
All right, guys, so in your groups, go ahead and discuss why you think that is. I'll go and discuss with Kobe. All right, so, hey, class. All right, let me just clarify. Imagination, so what we think up can be sometimes worse than reality.
That's a yeet.
All right, so is it always true what we think in our minds, okay? All right, go ahead and discuss that with your groups. 20 seconds, guys.
That's fire.
You like a girl,
lose your friend. Yes, what's happening like this?
Okay.
It's for support. It's for support.
It's supposed to be like
So you guys strongly disagree?
Yeah. I feel like you can imagine anything you want. You're gonna imagine all the good nice things.
All right, hey class. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll start with the strongly disagree today. Right now. All right, go.
So we strongly disagree because if you can imagine it, anything can happen. Plus, let's be honest, you're not gonna imagine something bad. You're gonna imagine all the good stuff, like money.
No.
Okay, all right. We'll respect his thoughts. Let's go to agree. Everyone should be listening. Everyone should be listening. Go ahead.
Good answer.
Oh yeah, I agree because I think a lot of times, like you like just expect the situation. Like a lot of times when you don't know exactly what's going on, you think it might be much worse than what's actually happening. You like expect the worst, and sometimes.
Yeah. So sometimes the worst ideas come to mind. All right. Strongly agree.
Okay. We strongly agree because, like, even when you're like dreaming, which is your imagination, you can have like worse things that happen to you than reality, like you die in a dream or something, and that's worse than reality.
You face your worst. You face what you wouldn't expect in reality in your imagination.
That's awesome.
Oh. Okay. Wait. So he's saying you guys are mostly saying that your imagination is worse than reality. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. And the last statement. All right. The last statement that you guys will be discussing is of the emotions of anger, resentment, jealousy, or loneliness. Jealousy hurts the most. All right. Of resentment, jealousy, loneliness, jealousy hurts the most. Jealousy, resentment, loneliness, and anger. You. Yeah.
Wait, jealousy hurts the most?
Yep. I mean, you have to decide.
Loneliness hurts the most.
Yeah.
All right, guys. When you get in your groups, go ahead and discuss it.
Josh would never.
No, I was gonna say.
He's very lonely.
Yeah, you know how it is. It's hard to get into my own.
So why does it hurt the most? You guys want to find it?
Because most people
Can I
think
stand in
loneliness
between?
because
Yeah.
lonely is much worse than feeling jealous.
Look, if you're feeling jealous, that's usually
All right, guys.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and start with our smallest group. Let's start with strongly agree.
I strongly agree because if you're like jealous of someone, like let's say you have a crush on someone and you know someone else gets back before, you can be so jealous that you like have to seek revenge or vengeance. So jealousy can lead on to worse emotions that can cause everyone in your problems.
Yeah. And do we have a scenario where that is happening?
Yeah, where Othello, Iago was putting all these like ideas into his head, telling him that Desdemona's cheating on him, and you know, he's like secretly setting it all up. And since Othello is seeing everything, he doesn't see what Iago's doing. He believes this is really happening, not just Iago's plan.
Exactly. Okay, excellent. All right, let's go to the next group.
We're in between.
We're in between.
Because it kind of just depends on the person. Like they all affect everyone differently.
Right. So yeah.
It all depends on, like loneliness. If you're lonely, of course that will affect you. But if you're around a lot of people, loneliness won't affect you. Jealousy won't affect you if you have everything. So it'll basically.
It's the circumstance,
Yeah.
basically.
I also noticed in that group they were all kind of back and forth on like anger is the worst or loneliness is the worst, and that's kind of what made me switch.
Okay. Excellent. All right. And this last group strongly disagree.
You got it.
Well, I don't think it really mattered like which one. It wasn't like an argument between, but I just don't think that that jealousy is the worst because I feel like jealousy you have to have some things first in order to be jealous, but to be lonely most of the time like you don't have anybody, you know.
Right.
But to be angry, you just like are mad at everything.
Right. Okay. All right, guys. Excellent. Please find your seats. Go ahead and find your seats.
That gave me hope in humanity. Good work.
All right.
Good job.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, what we're going to be doing now is we're going to start with our Socratic seminar. And what you're going to need at your desk is a sheet of paper because you're going to be scripting what the evidence is and what people are stating. All right, so you want a sheet of paper. All right. Hey, class. All right, guys, while you guys are getting paper quietly, I just want to go over the rules of engagement so I don't take up too much time. So while everyone is talking, or while one person is talking, I should say, you're going to do what we've done before, which is you're going to write their name, all right? And you're going to write the question that they've posed. If it is your own question and your own team's question, obviously you don't write that down because you have it already. But you want to also write the main points that people are discussing, all right? So whatever main points. And you want to make sure that your statements are textual, all right, that they're text-based. Obviously, we derive inspiration or we get ideas from the text, different concepts. We want to make sure that we're not just going off only on our experiences, but we're actually utilizing what we've read. And this could be anything from Othello, any of the literature that we've read, and then, of course, The White Man's Burden, okay? So just a preview of that, we read the poem, The White Man's Burden, written by Rudyard Kipling, the author of The Jungle Book. And he has some very strong opinions as it pertains to imperialism. All right, the idea that, you know, superpowers like Britain, that they can go out and that their job is to civilize and to kind of humanize these foreign people and to kind of make them better by going in and taking over their infrastructure, their country, their tongue, and everything. All right, their languages, and just making it more civilized and better, which we actually saw a repetition of that in the text. So what I'm going to have you guys do is at this time, I want you to turn to your partners. I want you guys to discuss between the two of you, or I think some of you guys are three, which question you want to do first. I'll give you guys about 30 seconds to do that, okay?
Yeah.
All right, loves, you have the phone? Okay, so just, are you? So, yeah. So all you have to do is
what I thought. It might help.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so one more time. On your sheet of paper, you're going to write the person's name and then their question next to it. All right, so name, question, and I'm going to, you don't throw your pen, don't throw it. Just let it fall gently, okay, because it's a little bit violent. And then you just want to bullet point the main points that they're making. That's all you're doing, summarizing those points. Don't write verbatim what they're saying for every person. Now, if Kobe is asking the question, you two ladies wouldn't be writing your own question, okay? So it's only for the other questions that you guys, so we can keep track of what's going on and what people are saying, all right? And the most important thing, of course, is to make sure that you can find evidence and you can infer things from the text. All right, so who'd like to begin?
Wait, I have.
Yes, question.
So you write down the name.
Yep.
But you have to also write down their question.
Their question, that's right.
And then write down.
There are 3 points, that's right. Yes?
I'll start it.
You'll start it, okay. So let's just make sure that, so we'll start with Kobe. And the people in the inner circle, remember that you guys are the ones that are doing the conversing. Now, if someone in the outer circle, we have some empty spots in the circle. So if someone in the outer circle has a burning statement they want to make, or they have something that they want to add to the discussion, they're more than welcome to jump in, all right? And to say their piece, and then, come out of the circle. And if we have time, we'll do a rotation as well, okay? So you're more than welcome to, because especially since we have some seats that are open. And so we're going to start with Kobe. Remember that while people are talking, you guys want to make sure that you are listening. And also, when you say your questions, if you guys can say it slowly. I know that Dr. Sanjan speaks very fast, so don't be as fast as me. Be slower so that people can write down the questions. And you guys can, of course, summarize it as far as possible. All right, go ahead, Kobe.
All right, my first question. So this whole story is about how we should go to the Philippines and help them, and we need to save them. But what do the Filipinos need help from? What does he think is wrong with them? Because I thought it was kind of an ignorant statement to just assume that, some other countries are possibly poor or maybe stupid, or kind of assuming the worst.
Okay.
He said fair.
So what do the Filipinos need help from? What does he think is wrong with them?
All right, so anyone in the inner circle can start talking.
I'll go first, yeah. All right, so I feel like when he's speaking about the Filipinos and them needing help, I just feel like he is speaking about how they're not as advanced and they don't have as much culture, so he's just trying to put the influence of his own culture into their society.
That eventually kicked me off.
And so when we talk about he's trying to place the European influence in their culture, where in the text do we see this loving, empathetic, sympathetic desire to help the people? All right, so guys, let's all look at the text and see, is there in the tone of the poem, or in the way that the poem is being expressed, the speaker, where does he kind of give us this loving desire to fix something that is broken, or to help change? Yes, Selena.
In line 13, how it says, line 13, I think. By open speech and simple, 100 times made plain, to seek another's profit and mark another's gain.
Yeah.
So it's like he's trying to help them to become better and advance. Maybe like something happened to their country and it kind of just left them broken, and he's trying to convey the fact that we all need to help out and help make them back to their original state.
So can I kind of add a question onto that? So wouldn't it make a little bit more sense if he added what happens to the country into the story? Because he just kind of left it open that they just need help. We don't really know what from, but they need help from something.
Because he knew he did something wrong. So why would he? So if they knew they did something wrong, why would they talk about that? Because if they think about it, if you say you did something bad, people are just gonna be like, oh yeah, the white man's the worst wrong thing. If you don't put that down, then they're gonna think, oh, the white man did what they were supposed to do.
So he's omitting information. So he's omitting information in an effort to make imperialism look better.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there are a couple of concepts that were just stipulated. All right. So we talked about, the first question was Kobe's, which was, what do they need saving from? Selena discussed the lines 13 to 16 that talks about how he says we're doing this for their gain and for their own profit. And what's the second point that was made, which was nicely stated by Jeremy. What was the last statement that was made? That if they say something, if he writes down what they do, what happens to the reputation of the imperialists, of the colonizers? It goes down, all right? So you just want to make sure you have those 2 bullet points supporting that question. All right, let's go on to the next question.
Josh.
My question is, how would you define how the author thinks of the term white man's burden?
Okay, this is let's say it one more time, and then I'm gonna have you guys discuss with your partners for the next response, okay? So say it one more time, please.
How would you define what the author means by the term white man's burden?
Okay, so if you guys could go ahead and turn to your co-pilots behind you, I want you guys to discuss that question so you can have a robust response. All right, I'll give you 30 seconds. How would you define the term white man's burden? All right, go ahead and do that now.
Gotta get my voice out there. Like, if you're white, your duty as a white person. It's a little stereotypical, maybe a little racist, considering there's more than just white people. There's more than just white people that can help. But yeah, I think you can just.
So a burden is something that is too heavy, just a very heavy load, a big problem,
Go help them.
something too hard to
It's their
take.
job.
All right, hey class. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so let's go ahead and you can start discussing. Who'd like to begin this element? Who'd like to start? Yeah, go ahead, Kobe.
Well, we were basically saying that it's your duty as a white person to go help them. Like if you're white, it's almost like you're obligated. It's your duty to go help them, which is a little racist considering there's more than white people in England that could help them too, or more than white people anywhere that could go help them. But I think in his eyes, it was like supposed to be a good thing. If you're a white man, go help. You know.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? I like that. I think that you guys were talking about the concept of a burden, right? So how would we define burden?
As a struggle.
Yeah. A struggle, right? So it's almost like he's what type of image is he portraying by saying the white man's burden?
By making it sound like they're better for putting their time out to help.
Right. Okay. So all of those things, and that's one of the wonderful things about reading and writing, right? It's that every word that is utilized is on purpose. It connotes an image for us that they're really it's hard for them, but they're going to do it anyway for the betterment of the other people. All right. And so what is the word that we've learned that talks about separating yourself from other people? What is that term? Segregated, but we have a term that we say when they're like those people over there and those people are doing that. What do we call? We can actually maybe look on the wall. But what is that? It's a term that starts with an O, and we kind of make people seem like they're not like us. You know.
Wait, system of oppression.
So we do that as a part of system oppression, but then we otherize people, right? And why is otherizing people like? Why is that not good?
Because that kind of ruins the whole equality thing.
Right, you know, I mean, because then when you start to look at them as something else, then are they on the same level as you? Mm-hmm. Right, okay. All right, so thank you for that response. Go ahead and let's go to the next question. Go ahead, Jeremy.
All right. Okay, what is the theme of the second stanza? The whole second stanza. What is the theme around that stanza?
All right, I'll give you guys a chance to write that down, and then I'll have you guys turn to your partners and discuss that. Remember, a theme is a statement, so you don't want to just give like one word, all right?